How do I manifest my purpose? Welcome back. My name is Sahara Rose. I am the best-selling author of Discover Your Dharma and host of the Highest Self podcast. And a question I commonly get is, how can I use manifestation to understand my purpose? So first, I'd like to tune into what the word manifestation is actually about, because it is a buzzword in the spiritual community right now. And I feel like a lot of us don't quite understand what it means. So to manifest something means to bring something to fruition, the intangible into the tangible, the energetic into the physical. Now, the formula I have created to manifest anything uses the chakra system. Now, chakras are energy centers within the body that represent certain psychosomatic states. You may have heard of them before. Americans commonly refer to them as chakras, but it's chakra. And the way that I see chakras are actually these tangible tools that we can utilize to usher our dharmas, our soul's purposes into reality. So one day I was on a walk and I realized that the formula to bringing any purpose to fruition exists in understanding the chakra system. So I call this the Dharma chakra system. The first step is the crown, and this is where we receive. I'm sure you've heard people say, oh, I got this download. And what that really means, it's an idea, a stream of consciousness, a flood of information that's moving through your being. It's not coming from you, but rather through you. Now, you see, no idea comes from us. None of us are the people who come up with the idea, but rather they land upon us. Ideas exist in the Akashic records, and these are the realms of infinite possibilities where all ideas are meant to come through. So let's say there's a certain technology that is meant to come through, or an idea in society. That idea is meant to be manifested into human form, and it will land upon the crown chakras of all of the people who have the ability to bring it to fruition. So this is why I say your dreams are dreaming you back. The very fact that you have a dream means that within you lies everything you need to bring it to reality. So this is why we often see people issue patents at the exact same time, or come up with the exact same idea. Or maybe you've watched Shark Tank before and you're like, I had that idea 5 years ago, but I didn't do anything about it. And this just shows how universal ideas are. You know, there's a funny story that Michael Jackson used to call his manager in the middle of the night and be like, we need to get to the studio right now. And his manager would be like, can't we wait until Monday? And he's like, no, no, no. I have this melody in my head. And if we don't record it tonight, Prince will record it tomorrow. So you see, he was picking up on the fact that these ideas exist in this universal realm that we all have access to, and they will land upon the people who can bring it to fruition. So you see, Prince and Michael Jackson were probably tapping into a similar source of pop music at the time, that they could feel that they were channeling some of the same ideas. So for example, I channel ideas related to our soul's purpose and spirituality, which I often see other channels and intuitives at the same time sharing similar sentiments as me. And that's how I know we are both tuning into the same frequency, something greater than us. But then our physical beings are so different, our experiences, our bodies, our minds. So the way that we then express these ideas is going to be unique. So the crown chakra is really where it all begins. That's where we receive the download. And if you aren't receiving any downloads, take time to meditate and practice breath work to sit into that void. Now, once you receive the download, you begin to intuit it through your third eye. This is when you then think about it. Is this for me right now? Is it not? Is this an idea for me 50 years from now or for today? Do I want to put my energy towards this thing or do I not? And if it's a go, now what is the personality I'm going to bring to it? What are the experiences? What is the branding? What is the concept? So this is when we really begin brainstorming. And as we move through this brainstorming process, we move it down into the throat, expression. This is when we write it down. We speak it into existence. Maybe you write a business plan, a book proposal, a resume, or you just begin journaling upon your ideas. Also, sharing the ideas with others. And one note I'd love to share with you is to be mindful of who you share your ideas with, because when they're still in that throat chakra stage, they're still infant little babies, they're still little sprouts that haven't fully germinated yet. So if we share these with people who knock it down, who are like a thunderstorm on that seed, it can blow the idea away. So sometimes we have people in our lives who are really good at coming up with all of the ways why an idea will not work. Those are not the people to share your ideas with when they're still in their little baby infancy. Instead, share it with people that you can hold space with, who can support you. And sometimes they're more likely to be strangers than people who've known you your whole lives, because they don't have the same predispositions of who they believe that you are, because we're changing all the time. And sometimes people want to hold on to a former version of ourselves because they have more power over that version of ourselves. So know that we are going to change. And sometimes it may be your own parent or your own spouse that you cannot share these ideas with, because they may be the people to knock it down. So gain that awareness. If you are consistently sharing your ideas with people knocking it down, and do not share it with them. Instead, share it with people that you could feel safe with. And I have so many incredible people you can connect with in my Rose Gold Goddesses community, and I'll have that link below. So from this stage of expression, of sharing, moving it through our throat chakra, we then move it to the heart. And this is when we find the passion for it, the love. We think about the people whose lives it's going to impact, who will read our book, who will be inspired by our story, who will benefit from our CBD chocolate, who we will be working with and delivering value to. So really closing your eyes and feeling the love that you have for these people, the love for your dharma, the love to be creating. And it's so important to connect to this heart chakra phase, because if you don't have the love and the heart, it's going to be really tough to move through the next stage, which is the doing and the action. So that love is the ignition underneath the flame that allows the fire to fully burst. And from feeling so much love and passion for your dharma, you cannot help but to do. It is oozing through you. It is not coming from discipline, but rather devotion. Discipline is an energy outside of ourselves, whereas devotion comes from within. So when you love what you are doing so much and you know the world needs it, you cannot help but to take action. You want to stay up or get up in the morning and spend all of your time doing it, because it is your natural state of being here. And this brings us into the solar plexus stage, the sacred doing. Now, sometimes I hear spiritual people say, oh, well, we're human beings, not human doings. We shouldn't do. Doing is less spiritual. But that is not the full truth. Yes, it is important to be and to take time away from doing. However, we are here as humans to create. That is the difference between us and animals. That is why we have these creativities. This is what drove us to find medicine in the plants, and science in the stars, and mythology in our stories, and patterns in everything that we have done. This is what drives us forward. And this is the very reason why we have these formidable thumbs, to create. So oftentimes we have this idea that doing is working for something outside of us that is not in alignment with our purpose. And this is the type of doing we get to move away from. However, our sacred doing is a reflection of our dharma in action. And this is really what that solar plexus stage is all about. It's when your action is in alignment with your intuition. So in this stage, you are creating, you are working with your clients, you are selling your products, you are in the job, you are doing the thing. And this feels really good. It feels exciting because you know you are pouring your energy into something that is greater than you. And this is really where the manifestation happens. The stages before were more in the air realm, the intangible, but it's through the doing, the fire energy, that we take that action, we bring it to fruition. So it's when those ideas become a book, or that vision you had becomes a product, or that idea you had becomes a framework that you're working with people towards. So that all happens through the energy of the solar plexus, the fire energy of action. So never feel like action and doing is not sacred, because it is the reason why we are here. We are here to create. However, that is not the end. It's not that we just do our dharmas and until the end of time, but rather from doing our dharmas, we find more clarity towards how we want to continue to focus our energy. So maybe you find some ways that you are doing your dharma and working with your dharma are no longer in alignment with who you are right now. Maybe you have changed in the process, or you were wearing a lot of different hats, especially as entrepreneurs. We do in the beginning stages of our dharma. We are the tech person and the customer service, etc. So maybe you find that you are best utilized to be more in the creative role, or to be more in the back end, or whatever it is. And from refining your role in your dharma, you begin to cultivate more play and more joy, which brings more abundance. And this is all the energy of the sacral chakra. So through that sacral chakra energy, you find more water, more fluidity. It becomes less about the doing, and you find more ease and grace. And you're able to put your energy towards exactly what you are here to do, rather than all of the things that need to be done. So this is when you begin hiring team. So this is when you may begin hiring team if you're an entrepreneur, or maybe your role within a company changes, or maybe you refine projects that you do to really look at who you are at this stage of your dharma and make sure your actions are in alignment with who you are to bring you the highest level of joy and satisfaction. Now, from this place, we enter into the last stage, the root chakra. This is when we birth something larger than us, when our dharma becomes a movement. So think about the mother birthing her baby out into the world, and the baby has its own legs and begins to take its own steps and lives its own life. So this is really creating something that we can align other people and their dharmas with, to create something that is so much greater than us. And this is really what all of our dharmas are all about. Because truthfully, our dharmas are shared with other people, but we each have our unique way of adding value to it, our unique perspectives, experiences, tools, outlooks. So for example, after writing Discover Your Dharma, creating Dharma Discovery Journey, I wanted to pass the torch along to other coaches who wanted to help other people discover their dharmas as well. And that is why I created Dharma Coaching Institute, which is the world's first and only institute that trains certified Dharma coaches as well as spiritual life coaches. So now I have created a movement so much larger than me, and really given other people the opportunity to spread Dharma to the world. And this is the perfect example of birthing it through that root chakra stage, where it can be something so much greater than you. So perhaps this is when you find other people around your mission, or you join forces and create alliances with other creators and really birth a movement that is here to stay. Now, once we have birthed it through the root chakra, it's up to us to decide whether we want to continue another iteration of the same dharma or move somewhere else. Sometimes when we've birthed out into the world, we then step away from it and other people take it over, and we pass that torch along, and we open up our crown chakra to receive the next iteration of our dharma. And other times we bring it through the process again, and we come up with another idea to further refine it. So that really takes you trusting your intuition of, are you guided to continue and go through another round of this dharma, or are you being guided to move somewhere else? So trust that your intuition is always guiding you home. And if you are ever stuck in any of these stages of the chakras, look at exactly where you are and where you can go next. So for example, let's say you have a lot of ideas and you're not sure what to focus on because every day you're coming up with a new one. So the next stage to go is the throat chakra. How can I now write this down, make a business plan, make a proposal, make a resume, put this into a little bit more form? So it's not just a bunch of ideas in my head, but I journal it out so I can start to see the reflection. Or maybe you've been doing a lot of writing about it, speaking about it, but you need to feel that passion for it so you can begin taking action. Or maybe you've been taking a lot of action and you need to find a little bit more of that sacral energy, that water, that flow, that creativity again. Or maybe you're there and you need to align yourself with other people for it to become a movement. So, what I love about this system is you're always guided like a compass on where to go next. And we continue and continue the cycle of the Dharma chakra system as long as we are alive. So if you're interested in learning more, this is one of the tools I teach in Dharma Coaching Institute that you will be certified to work with other clients and helping them discover their dharmas through this process. Or if you're interested in understanding your own dharma with more clarity, come join me in my 21-day Dharma discovery journey where I will take you from confusion to clarity on your soul's purpose in just 21 days. You can find both of those links below, and I'm super excited to see you inside. If you liked this episode, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.